It's time for another round of live, local, play-by-play coverage of Southwest Metro Sports on PSB Media.
1-1, Middlestead to Lieberman, and he scores! Pretty basic.
Watch the teamwork, tradition, and all-out competition unfold live on any streaming device.
Tries to center, and he does. 1-2 into the goal. Zog throws it deep, has a man. The catch is made, running down the sideline. 20-10. 5-touchdown Eden Prairie. First play of the second.
PSB Media's coverage of tonight's game is brought to you by The Malt Store, Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office, The Sun Current, Noodles & Company, Athlete PT, The Tavern on 4 and 5, and in partnership with Minnesota Football Magazine and BEC TV.
On the run, Bame able to finish with the offhand. Nice move by the senior.
Catch all of the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports. PSB Media.
Deflects it in deep. Berger plays away from him to the left wing boards. That bounces off the skate. Turned over to Aguilar. Shot. It's a score! Aguilar the shot. The rebound by...
Game time is coming up next.
MNHockeyMag.com. HockeyMag.com. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the MNHockeyMag.com. It's high school hockey on the air. The Edina Hornets and the Eden Prairie Eagles. Bart Archer joins me up here in the booth. Bart, these two teams, nothing needs to be said when you talk about the green, white, and gold and the black, white, and red squaring off on a high school hockey night.
Well, indeed. In fact, I got in a conversation with some people a couple days ago about what are the best rivalries in the state of Minnesota as far as high school hockey, and I think this has to be in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, at least top 5. But every time these two teams get together, throw the records out the window. The rankings don't matter. It's going to be a very spirited game tonight. I'll guarantee that.
Hornets enter this contest 11-7-2. The Eagles rank number 5 in the most current MNHockeyMag.com Class 2A rankings at 15-3-1. Middlestead to take the draw against Copeland. The Hornets win. They're going to have Shear playing that at the line. Young for Louis Rail. He was out of the last Eden Prairie game. A little flu bug traveling up and down the locker room for that club. According to Lee Smith, he thinks they're a lot more healthy now as they head into the stretch drive of the Lake Conference play. Graham to Middlestead. Outside he goes. Bumped off the puck by Ben Brinkman. New to the lineup, if you haven't seen us stream in a while, back over the Holiday Classic. He was out, of course, recovering from knee surgery, and he's back 100%. Brinkman, the freshman, in the corner. Now Graham's going to ring this to the wall. Walker will slide over, gets a stick, and Copeland guides it out of the zone. Watched by Young to the corner it goes. Shear in on the forecheck, checked by Rail. Hornets look to the high slot area. They're looking for a trolling Lewis Crosby. And instead, from the right point, shot that gets through the crease area. Past the goaltender, Sean DeRocher. That shot came from the blue line by Michelson. Now it's going to be played back into the corner area there. It's going to be Rail with it. He's checked on the play. Bothered by Crosby. They'll battle up on the wall. Ooh, here comes Shear. Stands up Middlestead right to the shoulder area. He sagged it. That didn't feel good. We're keeping our eye on Casey Middlestead, Bart. He got shaken up big time on that play. Look at the left arm there.
Yeah, he's certainly favoring that, and they need him back. Louis Roll lost his stick, so he had a bit of a mini power play, but kind of let him get away with it. But obviously Middlestead, one of the primary players on this Eden Prairie team, just a joy to watch. But hopefully he'll be coming back without too many nicks and bruises, but he's a character guy. I expect to see him back.
It was a shoulder-on-shoulder hit, and you know how those can sting, and maybe he's very ginger on the bench. Bart, will keep our eye on that to see if right now they have not called for the trainer, Gary Smith, as of yet.
That's usually a good sign.
Lieberman with it, back around the wall to Steen, and motion plays it through center, deflected off the stick of Hunter Johannes, the heavy hitter. To the corner it goes. Look out. Michelson stood up on the play. Steen to the circle area, deflected away by the trolling stick of Crosby. Johannes again slides into the forecheck position with Nolan Sullivan assisting to the corner. Johannes comes away with it. He tries to fish out of the skates. Good position by Edina's Peter Tabor. As Tabor comes up high, a little elbow to the mush there. We're going to play on. Back up to the right point. Shot on goal. Steered away there by the goaltender, Harry DeGrood. From the right point, firing it back in is Chris Kimball. Center ice, swatted at by Hugh Trumpy. Offside was Johannes. Will face off at center ice. So far, physicality will be at least at a premium here in the early going, Bart. They're not afraid to throw it around.
Well, I think you're right. What they have to be aware of is not just make a check to make the crowd ooh and ah. It has to have purpose. So far, so good. Tabor did a nice job of winning some battles along the wall in his own zone.
Blakowiak picks off that pass from Brinkman in on goal. DeGrood makes a save. The Hornet goaltender, 11-7-2 on the season, 2.24 goals against, 902 save percentage. He has been a beacon of light for this hockey club all year long. Very good goaltender.
Yeah, in fact, defensively, Edina's kind of had their moments of peril, but he's really held up in a lot of games.
Out of the left corner, the Hornets look with Garrett Malmquist. Plays ahead on the tape. That was Jungles to play that one into the corner on the forecheck. It's Ben Tucker. Tucker is ridden into the wall by Gray Irwin. Big check thrown there on the Hornets. Malmquist, and back out of the zone comes Blakowiak. Cross center and in deep it goes. Back to regroup, it's Brinkman. The University of Minnesota Golden Gopher recruit. Bothered by Michael Graham, of course, headed off to the University of Notre Dame. He'll play this one out of the corner. Formerly UMD, switched gears, and hey, D1's D1, right, Bart Archer?
Well, and the Fighting Irish are going to get a good one.
Back out of the zone. Hornets cross center with Tucker playing deep behind. DeRocher will set up for Rail. He'll take the loose change. Outlets to Middlestat. Looks no worse for wear. Shear hounds him. Now Rail in stride across center. Hard around it comes to the near wall. Walker will wait. Graham was there with the body. Copeland out of the zone. He tries to get away from Young. Nice effort there to the corner it goes. Rail over to help out. And it's played by Lawrence ahead for Graham. He has Middlestat in stride. Off the backhand, here comes Middlestat, drives the post, through the goalmouth area, nobody home. Walker plays back in behind the net, it goes. Bumped off the boards, they're going to go D-to-D. Tabor back ahead for Shear. Fan of the pass, found some real estate. Kimball tries to get an angle. The big fella Shear protects, to the corner it goes. Shear from the knee to skates quickly, back behind the net. Sullivan with a body on Walker, to the corner it goes. 2-on-2 battle. Eagles and Hornets here from the community center. Across the line, it's Walker. Looked out front, 30 points on the campaign, leads the club. Shots blocked by Johannes. Back up to center it goes, and it's controlled by Tabor. Fights off the would-be check of Johannes. Turns away from traffic. Nice control there by the sophomore. Now it's going to be picked up by Copeland across the line. Kimball, he goes by him. Poke check by DeRocher. His right skate knocks the posts off. It's net off its post. We're going to face off inside the Eden Prairie zone.
Well, pretty good speed by Copeland through the neutral zone. Helped by the official. The puck actually kind of hit the official, or it skipped up. Gave him a chance to gather it back up. Good
it was
speed.
Like a pass off the skate.
Indeed it was. Worked his edges quite well and got a pretty decent shot on goal, but again, a good save.
Rail with it now. His team 8-1-1 in their last 10. They've been playing some very solid hockey here. That one loss came to Minnetonka in overtime on this ice surface about a week and a half ago.
It's a pretty good Minnetonka team, too.
Right here on the MNHockeyMag.com. Rail outlets picked off. Shot. DeRocher gets back to his position well, as that was Clayton Phillips who let that one go from the left wing side.
Yeah, in fact, a little bit of a miscue by the Edina or the Eden Prairie defenders. They don't make too many miscues, but that was one of them. But pretty good shot by Phillips. But again, when you have a senior like DeRocher, he's been in these games before. Not much is going to get him excited. He came outside the blue and challenged that shot. Pretty good save.
Phillips, of course, moved from the blue line up to the forward position, at the center position to take the draw here for the Hornets.
And I think that's the
Brinkman
benefit.
coming into the lineup.
I was just going to say that. Good point. But, boy, it gives him a little bit of freedom, but he still can mind his defensive responsibilities. Good move by Kurt Giles.
Back behind the net, picked off by Phillips. Protects, plays that one to the slot area for Dornbach, who plays that back into the corner. Crosby comes away with it, protects the puck. Fires one in on goal. Blocker pad save. Turned aside. Nifty one there by DeRocher. Middlestat. He has a man. Lawrence on the right wing side. On the tape. Shoots. Scores! Oh, what a play there. On the tape. Lawrence gets behind it. Shelf, and it's 1-0 Eden Prairie in transition.
Well, it was Middlestat and Lawrence that showed some speed on that one, Pete. Edina defenders a little soft at their blue game, plenty of space. And Middlestat having the puck on the left side, feathered a pass to the tape on Lawrence. and he just beat DeGroot pretty easy. Good shot on that one, but Edina's got to play a little bit tighter. You see that shot, just beat DeGroot up over the shoulder, but Middlestead really got shown a lot of respect at the defensive blue line. Edina's going to have better gap control, and their pacing has to be a little bit better, showing too much respect for the Eden Prairie speed.
And the turnover up at the top of the slot area was trouble there. There's a clearing attempt, picked off, deflected off the stick of Calvin Pugh and nearly to the goal line. Back up ice come the Hornets. Joe Hankinson with it, turns away and plays it to the corner. Moon will troll. It's going to be played by Hartle up the wall. Pinching down for the Hornets, it's Tabor back in behind the net. Hartle, left wing side as he sidesteps a Moon check, but turns over. Hankinson, a wrist shot, stick save up into the midsection. And that one is held onto by DeRocher. Hornets respond with a nice shift after they were scored upon there, Bart Archer.
Well, that shows a character team, Pete. They came in focused. They know that giving up one goal, we have a lot of hockey to play. They're one shot away from tying this game, and they came down, put some good pressure, pretty good answer by the Edina Hornets. Official scoring was Lawrence's 11th from Middlestead and Graham.
Face-off pulled back in behind. Young with it. Outlets picked off Walker. He's dangerous. Let it go. Bounding puck. DeRocher gets into the butterfly position and hangs on. One thing that Walker does so well is when you get the turnover, the foot speed is so quick, and he's in a shooting position awfully quickly. Yeah,
it is exceptionally done on the Eden Prairie defenders right away, really taking away their options. Couple miscues early by Eden Prairie defenders. Edina getting some opportunities. They just have to punch one in.
Back behind the net, it's going to be handled by Rail as he controls. Nice power glide out of the zone. Off the boards, near side, picked off by Pugh. That gets away from Tabor. Tough one to handle in the wickets there for Tabor. Shear with it, plays to the line. Rail walks down from the right circle, wanted to go high cheese. Instead it gets Glass, and a big carry him up to Wesley Young into his own zone for Eden Prairie. Now Johannes with it, shovels into the neutral zone. Copeland was there as he's going to dance off to the left wing side. They're going to keep him wide. Indeed they do. Nice play there by Steen and Sullivan on their way to the bench area.
Johannes.
Back behind the play.
How rare.
Across the ice they come to the circle area. That's picked off by Lieberman, and a penalty will be coming up. It was in front of the Edina bench area, and we'll see what we have.
Well, the frustration, I think, is just that it really had nothing to do with the play. The play had already ended in that fashion, but a little extra ambition out of Johannes is going to put him in the box. That's going to be a cross-checking. A stick penalty in the neutral zone that really didn't affect the play. I'm sure Coach Lee Smith is not terribly comfortable with that, but Johannes has done a lot of good things for this team. It's up to his teammates to back him up. 10:27 left in this first period. Eden Prairie up by 1, but Edina on the power play.
Well, you look at the power play for the Hornets. It's not been too bad, Bart. It's hovering right around, 28, 29%?
Yeah, they're 15 out of 52. So both the special teams actually kind of mimic each other as far as these late conference rivals.
Eagles killing at 83% so far this year. But we know special teams, goaltending, and the little things really start to add up come this time of the season.
Well, Edina still has to be aware because Eden Prairie can score shorthanded as we saw last time we came out.
Phillips mans the point of the power play. He gets it back. Quick shot that's blocked by Middlestead. That will dribble off the end boards as Copeland dances out of the corner. Copeland puts on the brakes. Down low to Walker. Walker looked low to Shear. Instead gets away from one man. Toes the line and plays back to the on-waiting Brinkman. There's a pass that's right into the midsection off the shot from Copeland. Nice job from the Hornets from right to left.
Yeah, working the puck around as Brinkman over to Phillips. Phillips in on to Copeland. Copeland from the left dot got a pretty good shot off, actually. But again, DeRocher, good position side to side. Received that puck, nary a rebound. Just 1:19 left in the penalty to Johannes, but Edina looking pretty strong in the power play.
A lot of skill out there. Here comes Sullivan and Dornbach in the face-off circle. Sullivan for Eden Prairie, Dornbach for Edina. Face-off win and fired down the ice by Steen. Wide of the Edina net. Set up behind by DeGroot as it's going to be Luke Johnson with it now. Looks to his left on the outlet. That one off the stick up the ice for Michelson as he's checked. And Luke Johnson regroups and plays ahead for Dornbach. Dornbach with speed across the line. 3-year veteran at the high school level. Plays back up to the right point for Johnson. Gives off left side. Wrist shot. Blocker pad save. Rebound gathered in by Crosby. Young gets on him. Now Crosby gets away. Nice little move there. Walks along the line, and DeRocher with the stick check. Glassing out they go. Nice play by Young as he clears the length of the ice. 36 to go in the man advantage.
Boy, Crosby walked it in from a shallow angle, and Louis Rail just blew him up, but he got a pretty good shot trying to go short side.
Shrugged off Young like a flea with that little move down out of the corner, edged beautifully. Through Dornbach it goes to center ice. Brinkman will regroup in his own zone as he's going to be watched closely by Trumpy. Brinkman will wind up. The freshman protects the puck, ridden off the play. Blakowiak said, not in my house.
Well, Blakowiak checked hand side, and that's important. Good puck separation allowed that clear.
Irwin's shot was in on goal. Back to center. Gray Irwin gets it back. Now at center ice. Tabor had a tough time with that bounding puck, but advances anyway. Malmquist to the corner for Edina. We're at full strength now as Johannes steps on the bench. 5-on-5 here from the community center. Shot on goal by Brinkman. DeRocher pokes away. Hornets are hounding the end boards in the goal mouth area. Off the boards, back up to the point, poke back through center, and it's going to be handled by Tabor. He's checked as he sends that in. Middlestat there, off the boards, played back through center, and it's going to be picked up and controlled and sent right back in by Brinkman. Back into the right corner it goes. Kimball with it, puts on the break, check that's Hartle. Outlets to the near side for Lawrence. Middlestat with it, pokes it to the open wing. Tabor is there, nice job to protect the puck. You get that rear end between you and the puck, and good things happen. Middlestat with it with 7:36 to go. Eagles now through center with Lieberman off the boards for Lawrence. Now Middlestat plays it to the right wing side. Poked off his check. Oh, and a big check there. Casey Middlestat paying the price. Peter Tabor goes Christmas tree. Left wing side, Shear. They have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Walker takes the carom off the boards. Through to Copeland, in on goal. DeRocher looked behind, and the puck is still loose. Lawrence, right wing to Nolan Sullivan. Graham was there. Back into the Eden Prairie zone it goes. Lieberman takes over. He gets away. No, he doesn't. Copeland finds it, sends it back in. Walker pursues on the forecheck. Kimball was there. Now Walker with it. Eagles will look to play this one up the left wing side. Out of the zone they come with Sullivan. 3-on-3, 4-on-3 through neutral. Boy, all sorts of traffic there. Hornets now with Brinkman behind the net. Johannes walks the corner. Shot. That doesn't get through. Nolan Sullivan. I don't know if DeGroot got a piece of that. Good chance there for the Hornets. Back up to the left wing side. Sullivan protects. Walker hounds. Sullivan, nice pass to Lieberman. He has a man in the slot area. Johannes has it. Looks out front. Now Walker takes over. Waits for help. And up the ice he goes. From center, plays it in. Hornets will go wholesale. Eagles will break out of their zone. 6:20 to go in the first period. Hornets lead 1-0. Lieberman now. Off the glass. That's off the glove of Pugh. No ice on the play. It'll be DeGrood to set up for Tabor. Trumpy bothers him. Now Pugh better hurry. Here comes trouble. Turned over. Duraney's shot. Nice blocker pad save. Boy, call the bail bonds. How about that? That's a good bailout by DeGrood.
Again.
From the left wing side they go. To the slot area. Now it's Pugh. Across the wall it goes. Look out. Oh, Trumpy gets a hold of Phillips. That could have been awfully close. Fortunately, he pulled up right at the last second. For you young kids at home, that's what we're talking about.
Like to see it.
You don't need to finish that check, and they might let it go. Back to the corner it goes. Phillips looks to play this one down. Instead, it's Pugh awaiting in the neutral zone. Sent that one back in. Duraney, or check that gets away from the goaltender DeRocher. Dornbach gets greeted with a couple of mitts by Rail to the head area there. Back out of the zone they come. Now it's Graham with it. Back to their left wing side. Middlestat shot hits traffic. Wide of the net it goes. Lawrence behind the net. Graham's going to let it go. Middlestat has nothing but time. Now Graham, who likes to create from this area, off a stick. Nice play by Luke Johnson. There's a shot that's deflected. Dornbach comes away, slides over left wing side. Here comes Phillips out of the zone, 1-on-4. Wisely plays in as it's another wholesale change for the Hornets. Great pace of this hockey game as we start here with a 1-0 lead for the Eden Prairie Eagles. Middlestat checked again by Shear, who ducks a check. Now it's Graham. Across the line he goes, puts on the brakes as he's bothered by Michelson. It's going to be picked up by Copeland on the turnover. Waits for Walker. Across the line. Walker holds to the corner. Drop pass. There's a shot that would make Ken Pauley proud. He loves the drop pass. There was one, a good shot on net. DeRocher pulls it out of the air with a catch glove.
Well, the nice thing is if you do a drop pass properly, you bring the defender with you and opens it up for the trailer. Pretty good shot on goal. Try to go short side glove. But one thing I've been impressed with Edina so far is Eden Prairie is so good and so fast that they have a tendency to pull you out of position. Edina's staying in position, interrupting some passing lanes, and really forcing some turnovers and creating some transition.
The one thing for the Eagles is they like to play a fast game, but guess what? So do the Edina Hornets.
Well, Edina is one of the few teams that top to bottom can keep up speed-wise.
All the depth for both of these teams, no question, can play at a scorching pace. And here we go. Back out of the zone, it's Joe Hankinson off the glass, in deep.
Oh,
big check by Mac Hankinson there. As it's played off the pads, Joe and Mac Hankinson patrolling on the same line with Moon.
It's a familiar name in the history of Edina hockey.
And off the glass it goes. Now to play, of course. How many do you have? You have Peter, Ben, Casey, Mac, Joe.
And they were all good for different reasons, which is kind of fun.
Multi-sport
Peter
stars.
was just a super talent, and Ben was talented but a big guy, and Casey was kind of a morphed in from both of them, actually. Kind of a hybrid, so to speak.
What are you saying, that Ben was the goon?
No, I'm just saying that he was more physically imposing than the other two, but
okay.
sometimes he played like a man amongst boys.
Is that a polite way of saying that?
No, that's a four-letter word. I won't use.
We're friends. I'm comfortable.
Okay.
We're good.
Well, until I become more comfortable with him, it's just going to be physical.
He threw more fists in the NHL than anybody, so there you go. Off the and you know what? He got a paycheck for it. Back through neutral zone, in on goal. That's handled by DeGrude. Slides over to the left wing side. Michelson gets away from the oncoming Cole Lawrence. Now it's going to be Phillips off the left wing. Looks for an angling Dornbach, and it's going to be played to the near side for Michelson. Ahead it goes for Crosby. Off the stick of Dornbach. Young ahead for Middlestad. He has Graham on his right. They're 2-on-4. Let's see what happens here, folks. Not much, as it's going to be picked up by Crosby through center. Now it's Dornbach 2-on-3. Left wing. There's Phillips to the corner. Pad save. Pool flipper there. Or pinball flipper, rather. Get it right yet by DeRocher. Johannes tries to muscle his way down the wall. Gets a stick from Walker there. And Johannes plays it to the corner. Look out, the officials in no man's land. They're looking for a high stick. No, we're good. We play on. Back from the corner. I don't think he knew who hit that high stick, so there you go. And on goal, there's DeGrude, the save. Rebound kind of squirted on him. Nice job to gather that in.
Well, it was a nice job by Edina to protect and block out a little bit. Otherwise, kind of a trying moment, but pretty good battle down in that corner. And it was Johannes that actually used his physical strength to actually overpower the Edina defender, separate the puck, and get a pretty good scoring opportunity. But that's what Hunter Johannes can do. He can get in there and bang some bodies and really soften up the defenders.
Nice crowd assembled here at the Eden Prairie Community Center, as always, between these two teams. Off the end boards it goes. Lieberman looks to clear to the left wing on the carom. Tries to get past the oncoming Peter Tabor. Johannes has it. Right wing side for Lieberman. Steen is trailing in the middle. Oh, and he nearly had an opening there on DeGrude as there was traffic, and he was down. Instead, it goes to the corner, and it's going to be picked up by Copeland, hounded by Sullivan. Tabor takes over. Nice outlet to Shear. Look out. Ooh, he could have gotten smoked there. Across center, that hits a Hornets skate, and Copeland, and back into the Eden Prairie zone it goes.
Boy, Copeland felt that one, too.
He did. Now it's Walker. Copeland, a shot, and a DeRocher stick save. Walker with it behind the net. Bothered on the play. Deraney was there. To the right point, Johnson moves over to make the play. He's bothered up high by Blakowiak, who comes away with it. Plays quickly over to Hartle. They advance ahead for Trumpy. Deraney comes together with Brinkman, and he goes down. There's a chance in front. They shoot. Oh, what a save. Swatting that one away was DeGrude. Puck rolled up on the shooter there. That was Hugh Trumpy. Now it's Brinkman. He has the ice shaving still on his check. Oh, and this time he sends Deraney packing. Oh, and he lets it have it with a little stick. Things are getting electric out here, folks.
Well, we're going to have an interference penalty, and I think that's going to be to the Edina Hornets. No, it's going to be to the Eden Prairie Eagles. I didn't really see it. I think it's Plakowiak that's going to go to the box for interference. But, yeah, there was some chirping going on.
I don't think I've ever
forth.
seen a guy slap a stick on the ice. I think that would be a freshman there because I'd be careful.
If I was a coach, I'd probably sit down and whisper in his ear that we don't do that up here at this level. But obviously he was pretty charged up. But as far as Brinkman coming into this lineup, coming in midway through the season to a high school pace like this and blending in, that really kind of shows his dedication to the game.
Strong physical kid who can skate, can handle the puck.
And look at the areas of responsibilities. They put him in every position that they can.
There he is right now.
And they have confidence to do that. But tap on the shins of that young man. Welcome back.
Middlestat and Walker with a clean draw for Edina. Walker Brinkman, the wrist shot, hits traffic, deflects wide. Copeland comes away. Graham gets a stick. This is the second Edina power play now. 0 for 1 official on the game. Back behind, Walker tries to walk the line. Brinkman down low. They score! That might be Ben Brinkman, folks, with his first high school goal, as the Hornets get a muddy goal down low.
Well, we're going to wait for the official scoring, but it was Brinkman. Just really, Edina really kind of converged on the net. They had 4 green jerseys right around DeRocher. I think just the numbers kind of played into it. Eden Prairie had a little bit of an assist on that one, but any puck that can get in front of the net to the scoring area, funny things can happen. Edina ties it up one-on-one on the power play. But watch Brinkman right here. A little backhand in front of the net, just looking for a little redirect. But it was one of the the Eden Prairie defenders that deflected that one past DeRocher.
It might have been Young or Rail. It looked like it went off their stick.
Well, we don't need to call his name, but it
was
just
it went off their stick.
It's not,
if you turn and fire, you're not going to say the name. But it went off their stick or their skate with good position down low. Stood up on the play to the near side. It's Johannes with it. Right wing side, Steen. He's going to play this one in back behind the net. Michelson better hurry because here comes Sullivan. We're under a minute to play in the period. Off the boards it goes. That's an official power play goal for Edina, as they're now 1 for 2 with the man advantage tonight. Steen with it. Dances across center. Gets away from a would-be check there from Phillips. Now Dornbach is there. Phillips to help out. Off the boards they go. Dornbach regroups. Here comes Lawrence down the wall with under 30 seconds to go in the period. Lawrence, sense of urgency here for the Eagles, looking like they want to get that lead back. Graham, a hard wrist shot in on goal. Turned aside by DeGrood. Down front it goes to the line, but not out. Rail with a bounding puck. Plays to the right wing side. The sure-handed Casey Middlestad cycles to the corner. Oh, look out. Lawrence, a wrist shot that buzzed just wide. What a great setup there. Middlestad with it one more time from the left point. Flings that one into the left circle area. Dornbach with a handle on that. Graham is there. Lawrence is there. Wow, that does it for the first period. And what a dandy we had here from Eden Prairie. Tell a friend to tune in. MNHockeyMag.com. I'll tell you what, 1-1 your score, and you couldn't ask for more.
No, in fact, if you're Coach Kirk Giles, you have to feel pretty good about the way your team showed up and played. They played a very responsible period, positionally sound, challenge on every front. But Eden Prairie has to feel pretty good as well. I mean, Edina had their moments, but Edina got kind of fortunate to get that goal. But to go in 1-1, we have some pretty good hockey to look forward to in this next 2 periods.
Shots on goal for the period were for Eden Prairie 12 and for Edina 10. Our score reads 1-1. We take a timeout. We'll have the second period coming up for you in about 12 minutes right here on the MNHockeyMag.com.
Yeah! I like the blade on this one. Woo! Ripping. Come on, showtime. Nice. Good pop on the stick. Oh, that felt good.
After years of research, introducing the all-new X-Core 9. Featuring a compressible urethane insert strategically embedded in the core of the stick's blade. For unmatched accuracy, puck control, and wood-like feel. Truly game-changing.
Hey, nice shot, nice shot. Oh, he's got the wheels on. Yeah! True sniper.
Made true, play true.
Hey, pal, if you haven't swung over to CrankyApe.com, then you're missing the coolest auction site on the web. CrankyApe.com is the only joint you'll ever need for ridiculous deals on bank repos, insurance reparables, and dealer liquidations. We have everything that rolls, floats, or has an engine, and the selection changes every day. And don't worry if you're not a wrench, most of our stuff don't need nothing but a coat of wax. Bottom line, if you're born to bid, you shouldn't be monkeying around anywhere else.
Hi, this is Tom Leonard at Fury Motors, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. And I'd like to invite you down to our year-end blockbuster sales event with 0% interest to 75 months on some of our most popular vehicles, like the Dodge Charger, Chrysler 200, Chrysler Town & Country, Ram 1500, and the Jeep Cherokee. All 0% interest, zero, none, the big O till 2022, all right here at Fury Motors, 494 in Concord. Don't miss out today.
Toughest sport on skates. Fastest sport on skates. Quebec City, Canada. Germany. Jyväskylä, Finland. St. Paul, USA. Watch it live. RedBullCraftIce.com.
Our goal at FCA Hockey is to help players and coaches become more confident in their game while challenging them to grow deeper in their relationship with Jesus Christ. FCA Hockey works with players of all levels, from professional to college, from adult to youth. FCA Hockey exists to make an eternal impact. With overnight and day camps, adult and junior tournaments, and specialty teams, we have opportunities for everyone. For more information on how you can get involved, check out fcahockey.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. This season, the Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSP broadcasts of Eden Prairie football and hockey on their big screen TVs. So make it a night out. Get some great food while watching your Eden Prairie Eagles at the Tavern on 4 and 5. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
Correct, I have a life mate. Is that consequential?
With whom are you communicating?
Jake from Planet State Farm.
Jake from Planet State Farm at 0300 hours. State your identity.
It is Jake from Planet State Farm, home of Discount Double Check.
Describe your apparel, Jake from Planet State Farm.
Khakis.
Khakis. Explain.
A dull earthly garment covering male extremities.
Sounds most appropriate.
Save mass quantities, even at 0300 hours. Get to a better state.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie. A local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Timmy. I hope you're hungry.
Sure am, but I prefer broccoli to mushrooms.
Well, I prefer your brother to you.
Don't mess with Grandma's dishes. Mess with ours instead. Delicious dishes from around the globe that you're free to customize. Noodles & Company, your world kitchen.
We're speaking with Rob Friend at the mulch store. Rob, once people have finished up trimming those trees or raking those leaves, how easy is it for them to stop in at the mulch store to drop off those materials? Or maybe even pick up some mulch for next year?
Well, if you want to stop in and drop off, you come in, check in at the gate attendant, and they'll point you in the right direction after you pay a small fee. And if you're ready to pick up something to do a final garden or mulch project, pick out the product you want, pay for the fee, and we'll load up a trailer or a pickup truck if you have that. If not, we do have delivery available.
And of course, you guys have locations all over the metro area.
That's right. For locations and more information on delivery, you can check us out at our website, mulchstoremn.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Lenslink, Clinic Administrator and Care Coordinator for Advocare Clinics, and I want to welcome you to our facility.
If you're looking at this right now, you're probably searching for a new location for care for a new or chronic injury. And I want to assure you that we have a lot of services in one location that are convenient for you, and we can combine more options for you than you'll find at most other pain management or big box medical clinics.
I like the staff. They're friendly, they're supportive, they're encouraging, they're cautious, and they rearrange my exercise schedule based on what my symptoms are.
I want to welcome you and invite you to stop by for a free consultation with me as a care coordinator to see how we could best serve you and what kind of results we think we can get for you.
Contact us at 952-835-6653 or online at advocaremn.com.
Stay current on what's going on in your local community. The Sun Current is a local community newspaper that serves several communities in the Southwest Metro, including Eden Prairie, Edina, and Bloomington. The Sun Current will keep you up to date with the latest comings and goings on your school board, city council, arts and entertainment, and community events. And make sure you check out their in-depth high school sports coverage featuring weekly articles on Eden Prairie, Edina, Jefferson, and Kennedy. From football and hockey to tennis and swimming, the Sun Current has your favorite team covered. Keep it local and visit the Sun Current website at current.mnsun.com.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbier.com.
I really loved this book. Me too. What was your favorite part? The beginning? The beginning was good. Did anyone actually read the book?
I really like this wine.
You don't need a book club to drink wine with friends. Great wine and globally inspired food at Noodles & Company, your world kitchen.
During this break in the action, I'd like to thank you for watching and ask for your assistance. In addition to live streaming games like this one, PSB Media also produces video commercials for clients. If someone you know is trying to grow their business, tell them to consider contacting production at psbmn.com. The internet is a powerful marketing tool, but due to its size, it can be difficult for messages to reach the right ears. Optimize their valuable time and money. PSB Video will help drive localized traffic to the client's website. Using keyword-driven content, PSB Video can improve where businesses appear in search results. Nearer to the top results means more clicks and more business. So please, tell those business owners you know to work smarter, not harder, by considering PSB Production. Find out more by emailing production@psbmn.com.
And we welcome you back to the Eden Prairie Community Center, home of the Eagles, while the Edina Hornets step on the ice. The Eagles find their way to hello to Bob Gibbons. How about this? With a great call. You're the only show in town tonight. The All-Star break is in full force for our number one West Coast fan. Of course, he works the Honda Center, the site of one of the most exhaustively boring hockey games I've ever seen. The Wild and the Ducks. That was absolutely atrocious.
That was painful to watch. But,
absolutely. And I'm glad to know he set the ice for that.
Yes, indeed. But we appreciate Bob. He's been a great supporter for a long time. He's a nice man, and we appreciate him tuning in tonight to watch Edina versus Eden Prairie.
And he appreciated the flow the Hornets were bringing. This is a very workmanlike period, I think, for Kurt Giles. He wants to see more of that. He definitely wants his kids to play a certain way, no question. And I think it comes – hey, by the way, the Eden Prairie Eagles were coming to their bench area, and they had the very Well, look at the experience of the Edina coaching staff. You have a national champion in Dave Twilliger that would absolutely crush you in any combatant battle. You got Dave Langevin, Kurt Giles. They've combined for like 90 years of NHL experience. It's unbelievable.
Trying to navigate their way through the Eden Prairie bench.
Well, they're holding them up. How'd you like to make them mad is what I was saying.
They were less than hospitable.
Lee Smith was all smiles. They walked by Paul Ranheim, 1,000 games.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the talent out there.
And he just
Steve
celebrated
Olinger,
a birthday the other day.
He did. What is he, 39 years young?
Wow, just a youngster.
Ready to sign another contract.
Looks like he could still play.
You know what he actually does.
Right.
Of course, then you've got Steve Olinger and Lee Smith, Matt Bertram. Great coaching staffs here.
On both
Can't
sides.
forget about Dick Blueston with Edina. Middlestat can skate to the corner he goes. Eagles will be moving from left to right across your computer screen or monitor if you've hooked it up at home. There's a shot that's wide of the net. Lawrence is there, back behind the net. Copeland comes away with the puck. Outlets to Walker. Up the right wing side, he has Shear with him. He's going to be content to play it in back behind the net. Rail is there. Ooh, jammed by Shear. They're going to play on. There's a shot, paddle down. Got a lot of cat calls here from the... Ooh, Rail comes into the cross check to Shear, and now he's going to be the one to go, I bet.
Well, the thing about it is what Shear did is you play till the whistle. That's what you're coached to do, but if you can't see the puck with the goaltender, you're supposed to stay away. Hard temptation to resist in that respect. I don't see anybody going to the box.
Well, that was a result of getting jammed from behind there.
Right. Well, you got to kind of send a little bit of a message, but no harm, no foul, we play on. But, again, a little bit of a trying moment, but... face-off to DeRocher's right. Official scoring. Lawrence opened the scoring in the first period with his 11th from Middlestat and Graham. Then Edina answered Brinkman with his first from Walker and Copeland on the power play. That's where we stand.
Phillips from the left circle draw again. Steen, left wing for Johannes. Poked by the Hornet defense. That's Michelson. Steen over to play to the corner. Gets control. Looks up high to the line. Lieberman guides it back in behind the net. Waiting for the big carom is Nolan Sullivan. Huge numbers for him so far this year. 16 goals to go along with 18 assists. 34 points. Ooh, a little obstruction. We're going to play on. Back to the corner it goes. Dornbach stood up on the play by Sullivan. Dornbach fights through traffic. Kimball gets a hand in on him. Forces him off the puck. And Johannes will take the bounding change from the left wing side. Crosby. Oh, look out! Ben Hankinson. Back turn to the play. Better keep the head up there.
Well, nobody got hurt, which is the best part about that. But it really kind of Edina looking to be a little bit more reactive than they were pressing the pace last period. But now Eden Prairie seems to be kind of moving at will. Edina's got to kind of get back to what they were doing before, and that's focus and putting pressure on Eden Prairie. They're giving them a little too much room.
Face-off pulled back by the Hornets. Graham is there to create some trouble. We're knotted at one in a great hockey game here from the community center. Back behind the net. Graham chipped away from traffic. Middlestat comes away with it. Plays this one up off the netting and out of play. Well, a face-off inside the Edina zone.
Well, one thing Middlestat does so well is he sees the ice. He actually saw Graham out on the weak side, try to feather a pass, but nice job by Tabor to get a busy stick and ramp that one up and out of play. Otherwise, it would have been a moment for Eden Prairie to get a good shot on DeGrood. Face out to DeGrood's right. We're early in the second period, not at a 1.
Middlestat and Copeland with the draw for Hornets. Is out of the zone they go with Brinkman. Keeps the feet moving, finds his man Shear. Rail will quickly play to center. Tabor comes over to the near side. He hits Graham with it, and into the Edina zone it goes. Brinkman again. Off the boards, hits the linesman. Walker takes over, plays back through. And Tabor behind the net. Better hurry. Here comes Middlestat with an angle. Nice center breakout there. Copeland ahead for Shear. Across the line. He's rocked on the play by Rail. A pull-up shot by Copeland. Wow, they like that on the Eden Prairie bench. Back up the ice they go, left wing side. Middlestat with it as he gains the line. It's a pretty physical game, folks. Back to the corner it goes. Brinkman. Copeland tries to play through. Graham. Back in behind the net. Lawrence back up high for Lieberman. Snap shot that's buzzed wide. Young comes away with it. Plays back in behind. Middlestat lets it go. Graham will shovel to the corner. He's stood up by Walker, and taking over it's Copeland. Eden Prairie will get a change as the Hornets break out of their zone with Shear. Look to get it deep. Couldn't as they want to change. Poked off the stick of Tabor. Brinkman off the boards. Under the stick there of Copeland. Head goes up in the air. Wanted that one back. Young off the boards to the neutral zone. Brinkman, after Giles yells deep, fires that one in behind the net. Hornets get a forward change at least out of that. 1 D-man change. Michelson out with Tabor still lingering on this shift. Boy, this is Ryan Suter-like numbers on this shift. Tabor controls out of the corner, turns it over. Look out. Blakowiak, a shot that buzzes wide of the net. Now it's going to be Mac Hankinson back in behind the net. Michelson underneath his stick. Trumpy is there, cuts it off. Puck sits to the top of the left circle, and Mac Hankinson finds it through the neutral zone. He has a little help along the way with Joe Hankinson. Back in behind the net it goes. Johannes from the right wing side, he stood up on the play. And here come the Eagles out of the zone with Lieberman. He finds Nolan Sullivan. Chips a pass, look out in stride. Nice save there by DeGrood. Good positional save, took it off the gobbler. Now it's going to be picked up by Sullivan for Kimball. He'll angle a pass left wing, off the stick of Steen. Luke Johnson from center can't get it all the way down as Lieberman outlets to Sullivan in the move. He'll take it across the line. They have 3 men across. Sullivan carries deep, walks the goal line, wraparound attempt. DeGrood from left to right. Nice save, gets the pillows extended, and the faceoff will come up to his right.
Well, one thing that Eden Prairie does, they go to the net so well. Edina's got the challenge in front of them to protect and block out and give their goaltender a chance to make a save. Turn the clock back to the Edina Holiday Classic. Eden Prairie would punch the puck deep and then battle with the Edina defenders, get proper positioning, punch it out front, put pressure on DeGrood. It looks like they're starting to work that mojo again a little bit. Edina has to block out and keep supporting their goaltender.
Young down the wall behind the net for Middlestat, behind the back looking for Lawrence. Rung the wall, rail a shot, stick save, that's off Pugh. Swats that one away. Middlestat comes away, net is off its post in front. Off its post again, no goal.
Boy, kind of unfortunate if you're an Eden Prairie Eagles fan on that one. During that sequence, the net was off and play continued for a couple seconds. They ended up getting it to the open man, but again, a whistle was in the making, so you have to be disappointed if you're Eden Prairie, but pretty good puck movement.
Will face off to the right of DeGrood.
But DeGrood's going to have to make a couple really kind of some saves that he doesn't have any business making, which he's been doing all year long.
Positionally, he's been making great positional saves here tonight. And you know what I like about his game is he's unflappable. He's always in control. I mean, the goalie I really like is that I've seen is Robert Hansen, of course, from the Minnetonka Skippers.
Thomas Hansen.
Thomas. His dad, Bobby. My mistake.
No, he was exceptionally good against Benel St. Margaret's on Tuesday.
Wasn't he? I mean, if he was not in that net, that could have been a way bigger outcome.
And Bishop was awful good, too.
It was a great hockey game between those two teams. Of course, the Red Knights 4-2 winners in that one. Rail with a big stick to the lower back of Walker. They battle off the corner. Louis Rail's playing with a little bit of an edge tonight. One I haven't noticed from him.
Well, indeed. In fact,
over the games,
he's just good to be back, I think. But I think Edina kind of brings out a little bit of the fire in this Eden Prairie Eagles team.
Lawrence on the tape for Middlestat, looks and waits for traffic. Graham rips that one over the net, off the glass it goes. Back behind for Middlestat, pulls the puck away from Copeland. Middlestat was looking for Lawrence. Copeland with position, out front it goes. Now Middlestat once again, back behind the net, protects the puck. Guides that one behind. Copeland is there off the boards. To center it goes for Lieberman. Nicky Lieberman looks back up ice. Big point producer for this team as well. He has 27 on the campaign. Offside are the Hornets.
Well, it was Shear that interrupted that neutral zone pass by Eden Prairie. He actually gained control and had Crosby over on that side. Tried to get it to him, but it just hooked on him a little bit. And Crosby and over the line forced that whistle outside the Eden Prairie zone. I really like the way Eden Prairie, their patience, their tempo. They aren't rushing up and down the ice. They're taking what Edina's given them, but Edina's given them a little bit too much to chew on, Pete.
Johannes and Crosby
tighten up in their own zone. Sorry.
Nice little, no worries. I was just noticing a nice little jostle off the left wing side for position. Phillips misfires on that. Check gets enough, though, to force the Eagles up the wall. Tabor pinches down. Steen there. Now it's Phillips behind the net. Crosby. Fish hook there by Sullivan. Dornbach submarines a would-be checker. And now it's going to be Tabor. Look down low, deflection. Oh, and that one trickles just wide of the net to Rocher going one way. The puck the other.
Boy, that was athletic for Dornbach to even get a redirect on that one. He was being pulled down. Nice job.
Steen tripped up by the blue line there as he tried to get it to Johannes. Couldn't. Lieberman comes away with it. Flutters a puck. Ooh, that one got away from everybody. And now it's going to be picked up by the Hornets' Michelson. That puck swatted to center. Kimball. Lieberman takes over. Back for Kimball. He has some room up ice. Sends that one back in behind the net, and it's going to be off the stick of DeGrood with Johannes there, and a delayed penalty on the call. And a roughing call on the play. So far, the Eagles with 3 penalties. The Hornets have yet to hit the sin bin, and that's been an Achilles that you and I have seen over the years for Edina. It's been very impressive by them so far, staying out of the box.
Yeah, they're showing some discipline, which is refreshing to see. But Eden Prairie, a roughing penalty by Nicky Lieberman. Nicky Lieberman's one of the primary defenders on the special team, so it's a little added bonus for the Edina Hornets. But last time they punched one in on the power play, you can't give these Hornets too many opportunities, otherwise they're going to make you pay for it. We'll see what kind of job they do against this, but Eden Prairie's shorthanded unit certainly has a challenge in front of them.
Walker with the draw. Shear up to Phillips. Backpedals over for Copeland. Down low for Walker to the slot area. That fails to click, and Phillips will walk back into his own zone. Very comfortable with the blue line position. Kind of makes you feel as though his move to center those take a little bit of pressure off him.
Oh, indeed, but you can put
or
him back
to the wing, wherever he's playing.
But you can put him back on the point during the power play, which is kind of a nice luxury to have.
Absolutely. Phillips behind the net, stays on it. Nice play there. Up high for Brinkman. Brinkman to the right side. Down behind the net it goes for Copeland. Now it's Walker. Top of the left circle, Copeland along the goal line. Deraney was there with the busy stick. That gets away from Phillips, who takes over in the neutral zone for Walker. He'll leave off for Phillips. Plays ahead. Off the stick of Gray Irwin. And back into the Eden Prairie zone it goes. That hits a player on its way out, and Phillips with a nice job to maintain the neutral. We have exactly 1 minute to go on the man advantage with DeRocher setting up for Deraney. He's bumped on the play back behind the net for Crosby. Shear comes in with Copeland now down low. That was Walker, rather. And now it's going to be Middlestad out of the zone. Oh, he wanted to control it. He didn't have anywhere to go. Shear hounds him. Here comes Walker. They knock him down on the play. Copeland with it. Copeland in front. That one steered aside by DeRocher. Wow, sometimes it's okay to just play it deep. To the slot area. Walker is there. Oh, nice pass to him. Scores! What a play on the turnover. All really started because the Eagles had an opportunity to get it deep. The Hornets just busted their tails, forced some turnovers, and that group went to work and gave the Hornets a 2-1 lead with their second power play goal.
Yeah, it really came from the Middlestat. Tried to challenge, burn some time off. Edina had the numbers in that respect, pinched him off the puck, but then Edina's zone entry got him back, and then they had numbers, interrupted the pass, worked it around, but it was a nice job by Copeland to feather it through to Walker. Walker one time off DeRocher, but up into that upper corner. Edina now has a 2-1 advantage, another power play goal. Eden Prairie's got to stay out of the box, Pete.
For Sammy Walker, that's goal number 16 on the season. Leads his club in points with 31. The 3 underclassmen lead this Hornet team in points. Plenty to look forward to with this addition. I think it's fair to say, you want to talk about a roster that's seen more players move on at an earlier rate than this one. Ooh, that one's off the side of the net. That had everybody thinking here for a minute. You know how that goes. Back up the ice it goes for Sullivan. Brought down as Johannes. Bounding puck for Sullivan across the line. He'll slice and dice to the corner as he looks for help. Sullivan maintains up to the line. Olsen lets a shot go. That hits Steen off the skate. The Karam off the boards. Gathered in by Dornbach. Plays ahead on the tape for Jungles. Across center, and he's going to work the forecheck. Rail gets inside position on Jungles. Down goes the freshman, and out of the zone comes Rail. Left wing side for Johannes, under the tape of Deraney, and it's going to be Moon to take over. Moon loses the handle with Deraney bothering him. Trumpy, high off the boards, batted down by Tabor, and a penalty coming up. This will be the first one on the Hornets, an interference call on Mac Hankinson.
Well, I think it's just a little bit of a breakdown, but Eden Prairie push really forced Edina to take that penalty. Kind of funny how the referee that was 10 feet away didn't see an infraction, but the one halfway across the ice called it. But penalty's a penalty. That's why you have two. But Eden Prairie now on the power play, pretty much an even 30%. Pete looking to have some success on this. The penalty kill for the Edina Hornets, 82.4. Both formidable special teams. Edina's had great success on the power play. Now it's Eden Prairie's turn.
With this music, I want to say time for an XL Energy power play. There's a shot that's wide of the net. Get the echo going there, Adam Abrams. Batted down by Cole Lawrence. He'll control out of the corner. Plays back up for Lieberman. Graham with it. Oh, look at the talent out here on this power play unit. Middlestat down low. Sullivan, short angle shot, steered aside by DeGrood. Sullivan for Middlestat. Looks back up high for Graham, top of the umbrella. Held the shot. Now it's going to be Lieberman. Sends one in softly on goal. Saved there by DeGrood as they spade away for the puck. No goal on the play, keeps it out of the net.
Well,
there's a good look there from Kevin Hagstrom, your cameraman. Nice.
A nice close-up, but Edina's on the wrong side. They have to be pushing Eden Prairie defenders out, not into the goal. That just means that their positioning isn't terribly solid. But pretty good patience by Lieberman on that one. He waited for something to happen, waited for traffic to get in front of DeGrood. But DeGrood, nice job of tracking that puck through a lot of legs and sticks to keep that puck out of the net. But Edina, as you said, while Eden Prairie had so much talent out on the ice, Edina had some pretty good skaters as well. Walker, I think, with 4 shorties so far this year for the Edina Hornets.
I mean, you kill penalties with speed, and he has plenty of it, and that's where the chances abound. Lieberman with Graham. Ooh, nearly lost the handle, towed the line neatly there. Now it's Graham, touch pass for Middlestat, near side, whipping it around. Sullivan back up for Graham. Now another one that dribbled off the shin, that's still good. Now Sullivan walks from the right circle down low. Middlestat in front for Sullivan underneath the stick there. Dornbach in stride. Look out. Here comes Lawrence. Forces the situation. And down the length of the ice it goes with 56 to go in the man advantage for the Eagles. Lieberman gets away from one would-be checker. Across the line he goes. Looks for the drop pass. Walker takes over. Looks to play that one up and through the neutral zone. Dornbach waits for the bounding puck. Middlestat gets position. Dornbach fishes and wins. Lawrence gets it back, though, across the line. Middlestat from the right circle. Doesn't like what he has. Circles. Nice escape there. Graham, the high wrist shot off the knob of the stick, or the shaft, if you will. Up and out of play of DeGrood.
Kind of rang the dinner bell on that one. Well, that one went off the crossbar. But really good job of battling through and winning that battle by the Eden Prairie forwards. It was Dornbach who actually had the puck, tried to chip it back, but good positioning by Eden Prairie. Brought that puck into the zone. Another good shot. Just 28 seconds left in the penalty to Hankinson for Edina.
Luke Johnson off the boards to the near side. Rail is there. One-timer. Scores! Wesley Young. Oh, you can't draw it up any better than that. We're tied at 2 with the power play goal.
No, and that was a pretty good shot. It was a one-timer. Nice feed from his defensive partner. One-time shot up and over the blocker shoulder of Charlie DeGrood. DeGrood, a lot of traffic in front. I'm not 100% sure he saw that one, people. We'll take a look at it. Very big face-off at that point, but Eden Prairie maintains, and you see Rail waiting for a moment. Good one-time shot. There was some traffic in front.
What's key here is the Hornets ended up winning the face-off, and it was just a clear that didn't get the zone. And then you had the man sagging down on the weak side there for a one-timer. Big goal there.
Yeah, nice play by Rail to hold that line and to have the confidence to make that play, but a good shot by Young. Now we're tied at 2.
A veteran play by a veteran player. To the near side it goes. Louis Rail, of course, was a goaltender of mine back in 3-on-3 hockey at Hat Trick Arena.
Wow.
Subbing in on young Daniel Wagner's team.
How about that?
His sister Tess was playing on Dan's club back. They're a couple years older than these guys.
How about that?
We stuffed him in between the pipes, and he did an admirable job, mind you. He's an athlete. Back behind the net they go, because only athletes play goalie. Back through center, it's going to be Wesley Young to the near side for Louis Rail. Underneath the stick of Michelson. Down goes Steen on the play. Eden Prairie fans looking for a penalty. They're not going to get it. Across the line it goes. Who wants it? Here comes Tabor. Steen measures him, and it'll be sent right back in. No icing on the play. Copeland gets there first. He's jammed by Sullivan as he was surprised there. Copeland, bothered behind the net, protects. Up to the line. Brinkman, wrist shot off a pair of skates and up and out of play.
Well, good job by Johannes to actually challenge the shooter on that one. Brinkman had a pretty good look on that one. Went one time, but Johannes did a nice job of challenging him, directing it up and out of play. We have under 5 minutes left in the second period, not at a 2. It's been kind of what we expected. I thought that Eden Prairie would have a little bit more success on the scoreboard, but that's more of a credit to the Edina Hornets, and now they're playing team defense tonight.
Malmquist to face off for the Hornets. He has Jungles on one side and Tucker on the other. Blakowiak picks up the puck to Trumpy on the right wing side. Quick pass to Blakowiak. Jungles nearly got the stick in there. Back behind the net, Brinkman bothered by Deraney. Off the back of the net, they jostle. Puck still loose. Ooh, that one dribbles to the near side. Trumpy back behind the net. Blakowiak comes away with it. Spun off by Malmquist. Stick saved by DeGrood. Nice save there. They look to the slot area. Nobody home. Hartle from the right point. Plays it right back into the corner. Duraney converted from the blue line up to the wing for the Eden Prairie Eagles. Back up through center they go. Malmquist with it. Down low he goes. He had a man trolling. That one failed to click for Tucker. Now Lawrence fails to click with Trumpy off the boards. Johnson gathers in. Near side he goes. That one fails to click. Wide of the net. Icing the call.
Well, faceoff's going to be to DeGrood's left. Faceoffs are going to be important. Edina's kind of dodging a little bit of a bullet. I don't think they've really played that well this period. They played well in spurts, but
the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
But then it just seems like they've kind of sat back and waited for Eden Prairie again, and that's a recipe for disaster. So far, they've done pretty well withstanding the pressure, but it's only a matter of time. But Eden Prairie's starting to pull them out of position.
There's a shot. Michelson wide of that. Edina's pace has sagged a little bit here in this period. Lieberman with Lawrence at the line. They've got numbers down low. Oh, he nearly went lacrosse. No go there. Back up through center. It goes away from Kimball. No ice. To Roche. Ooh, that one turns over to Dornbach. Thought that could have been dangerous. Back into the corner it goes. Crosby bumped. They get a little help to the corner with Phillips. And to the left wing side, Middlestat wants to race. He tries to go inside out, and Michelson shrugs him off like a flea down low. Graham is there. Boy, Middlestat, when he's skating, I don't care who you are. Good luck.
Well, you have a tendency to check the puck, and that works right into his wheelhouse.
When he commits to the speed up the wall, it really works well.
Well, you want to tell him to take the body, but he's very elusive side to side, too, so it's kind of a no-win situation, but I think he weathered the storm
it's
okay.
Like being a D-back overmatched for the wide receiver. Lieberman to the corner it goes. Or a linebacker, how about that?
That works.
Covering your boy Gronk.
Another scrum in the corner. There's been a lot of battles in this game so far. Just a lot of bodies fighting for the puck.
It's been a contested hockey game.
Indeed it has. Late conference hockey.
By two physical teams. 2.5 to go in the period. Referees imploring them to move it. Sullivan comes out. That's off the stick of Johannes. To the corner it goes. He's bothered by Michelson. Tries to protect as Hunter Johannes does. Copeland is there. Steen to help out. Johannes muscles his way in. Protects the puck. Steen looks to cycle out of the corner. It is absolutely spading and muddy down there. There's a shot by Olsen, blocked by Walker. Big carom to the neutral zone. Rail in a foot race with Walker. Louis Rail plays that rink wide to Young. Bumps off the wall for Rail. Quick transition outlet they go. Steen with it. He had Johannes moving. Instead they find Sullivan across the line. Sullivan carries wide, down low. Nice job by DeGrood to cut off the post. Back behind the net it goes. Brinkman is there, but no. That's Nolan Sullivan. Winning the battles down low this period, as Bart Archer mentioned, are the Eden Prairie Eagles. Sullivan turns and shoots. Glove save. Peels that one off the ice. Nice stop by DeGrood. I looked over at Kurt Giles, and he kind of looked like, oh, boy, that was a shift.
Indeed it was. But you have to be impressed with Louis Rail's speed. He actually outdistanced Walker to get to that puck. Then they moved it up, showed some good speed, but Edina just seems like they're in that reactive mode. They're not pressuring necessarily, but if they are, it's too late. Nice turn and fire on that one. But Sullivan had an exceptional shift, working the edges, getting a good shot, and then a good follow-up as well.
Rail poked away. Look out. Here comes Phillips. Foot race up the ice. He can fly. Phillips scores!
Oh, boy.
What a play by Clayton Phillips. He would have had a penalty drawn, but he shoved that puck ahead. Stayed with it, beats DeRocher to the glove hand side. So when things were looking a little negative for the Hornets there, they turn a positive with a great foot race up the ice for the 3-2 lead.
And that's what good teams can do. They can see the opportunity. You don't get many against the Edina or the Eden Prairie Eagles. I've done that all night. But it was Phillips that showed great speed, showed some separation, used his body to protect the puck. It just floated one over DeRocher's shoulder on that one. I think the pace of that puck fooled DeRocher a little bit. But it's a line drive at the box score as Phillips gets his second goal of the season. I believe that might be unassisted. We'll wait for the official
3-2 the score with 1:27 seconds to go in the period. It's going to be Graham across the ice, puts on the brakes as he plays to the corner. Edina with a pair of second period goals so far. That's their first even strength tally of the game. Graham bothered by Brinkman. Michael Graham's going to protect to the corner. It gets away from Middlestat. And now it's Lawrence back behind for Middlestat out front. Oh, and a big pad save by DeGrood. Rebound, Lawrence. Oh, that one just over the top of the goal. Under 1 minute to go with Middlestadt protecting. Gets away from Copeland. Creates down low. There's a shot that's steered aside by DeGrood once again. Now Middlestadt pulled out of there by Copeland as he goes up ice. Gets away from one man. Here's Copeland with Walker on his right. Gives off to him. Touch pass sheer off the toe of the stick. Now Graham's going to play ahead. Here come the Eagles in transition. Long pass on the tape. Lieberman says, thank you very much, and pushes that one wide. Middlestadt protects the out. Sheer comes with a big hit there. Poke back up through the neutral zone. 22 to go in the period. Gray Irwin with it now. He's going to send another long pass. Middlestadt's going to take over. Gives off to Johannes. A shot and a stick save by DeGrood once again. Now it's Johannes. Sends that one, right off the skate there. Nice pad save. How many saves have been made by DeGrood here in the period? He just looked up at the clock and said, get me out of here. Now it's going to be played to the slot area. Picked off by Shear, and the Hornets with a 3-2 lead after 2 periods. Bart Archer.
Well, after that Phillips goal, you expected Eden Prairie to respond, and that's exactly what they did. They took the puck down and put probably 4 or 5 good quality shots on Charlie DeGrood, but that's what DeGrood has done for this Edina Hornet team. He picks them up when they have a little bit of a sag or if they get challenged by a very capable and competent Eden Prairie team. But Middlestadt had a couple point-blank shots, tried to go short side, but DeGrood stood tall, made the saves. We're going in 3-2. I'm sure Coach Giles has to feel pretty good about his team's situation right now.
By the way, good to see my good friend Nick Kennedy, nobody better, on board with us here tonight, watching. Nick. Probably from the friendly confines of his home. He's probably flipping between the Trump extravaganza and the Republican debates. How about that?
Well, if you want to take a break from
I think
politics,
that's what's killing our numbers here tonight.
Well, indeed it is. But at least we're giving a viable option if you're tired of hearing about feeling the burn and all that fun stuff. But we just want to give you a
Bart
bit of a
Archer.
diversion.
You just reminded us all of the burn. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Well, no, I just wanted to acknowledge Bobby Gibbons out there.
We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, there will be more. You're watching high school hockey via PSB Perfect Storm Broadcasting and the MNHockeyMag.com.
Hey, pal, if you haven't swung over to CrankyApe.com, then you're missing the coolest auction site on the web. CrankyApe.com is the only joint you'll ever need for ridiculous deals on bank repos, insurance repairables, and dealer liquidations. We have everything that rolls, floats, or has an engine, and the selection changes every day. And don't worry if you're not a wrench, most of our stuff don't need nothing but a coat of wax. Bottom line, if you're born to bid, you shouldn't be monkeying around anywhere else.
Hi, this is Tom Leonard at Fury Motors, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. And I'd like to invite you down to our year-end blockbuster sales event with 0% interest to 75 months on some of our most popular vehicles, like the Dodge Charger, Chrysler 200, Chrysler Town & Country, Ram 1500, and the Jeep Cherokee. All 0% interest, zero, none, the big O till 2022, all right here at Fury Motors, 494 in Concord. Don't miss out today.
The toughest sport on skates. Fastest sport on skates. Quebec City, Canada. Germany. Jyväskylä, Finland. St. Paul, USA. Watch it live. RedBullCraftIce.com.
Our goal at FCA Hockey is to help players and coaches become more confident in their game while challenging them to grow deeper in their relationship with Jesus Christ. FCA Hockey works with players of all levels, from professional to college, from adult to youth. FCA Hockey exists to make an eternal impact. With overnight and day camps, adult and junior tournaments, and specialty teams, we have opportunities for everyone. For more information on how you can get involved, check out FCAHockey.com.
I like the blade on this one. Woo! Ripping. Come on, showtime. Nice. Good pop on the stick. Oh, that felt good.
After years of research, introducing the all-new X-Core 9. Featuring a compressible urethane insert strategically embedded in the core of the stick's blade. For unmatched accuracy, puck control, and wood-like feel. Truly game-changing.
Hey, nice shot, nice shot. Oh, he's got the wheels on. Yeah! True sniper.
Made true, play true.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Timmy. I hope you're hungry.
Sure am, but I prefer broccoli to mushrooms.
Well, I prefer your brother to you.
Don't mess with Grandma's dishes. Mess with ours instead. Delicious dishes from around the globe that you're free to customize. Noodles and Company. Your world kitchen.
Jim Mordine with Corporate 4 Insurance is your one-stop shop for business and personal insurance. With over 30 years' experience, Jim knows the importance of personal relationships and actually getting to know his clients so he can find the right, customizable protection for everything that's important to you. Plus, Jim is an independent agent, which means he's able to shop for the best rates among more than 100 A and A-plus rated carriers. Jim also believes in giving back to the community. As the parent of an Eden Prairie High School athlete, he volunteers with the Eden Prairie High School Band, Eden Prairie Hockey Association, is an active member of the Eden Prairie Chamber of Commerce, and supporter of the Pinky Swear Foundation. That means you know you're working with someone who knows the community. So start saving on protecting everything that's important to you by calling Jim Mordine with Corporate 4 Insurance, 952-746-3075, online at betterminnesotainsurance.com.
Hey, pal, if you haven't swung over to CrankyApe.com, then you're missing the coolest auction site on the web. CrankyApe.com is the only joint you'll ever need for ridiculous deals on bank repos, insurance repairables, and dealer liquidations. We have everything that rolls, floats, or has an engine, and the selection changes every day. And don't worry if you're not a wrench, most of our stuff don't need nothing but a coat of wax. Bottom line, if you're born to bid, you shouldn't be monkeying around anywhere else.
I wish it was spring.
Hello, Carl.
Whoa, who are you?
I'm the mulch store genie.
Well, your entrance music makes you sound like an alien.
We mulch store genies survive on grass and compost, not snow and ice.
If you're a genie, where's your lamp?
Mulch store genies live... Never mind you. Let's get to the point. You had a wish for me, Carl.
Yeah, I wished it would be spring.
Your wish is my command.
Sweet, this is much better. Wow, my lawn looks great too.
Indeed, Carl. That's the power of the mulch store genius.
Thanks.
Tell your friends of my mulching powers.
The Mulch Store, granting beautiful lawn and landscaping wishes since 2000. Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee.
Stay current on what's going on in your local community. The Sun Current is a local community newspaper that serves several communities in the Southwest Metro, including Eden Prairie, Edina, and Bloomington. The Sun Current will keep you up to date with the latest comings and goings on your school board, city council, arts and entertainment, and community events. And make sure you check out their in-depth high school sports coverage featuring weekly articles on Eden Prairie, Edina, Jefferson, and Kennedy. From football and hockey to tennis and swimming, the Sun Current has your favorite team covered. Keep it local and visit the Sun Current website at current.mnsun.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Lenslink, Clinic Administrator and Care Coordinator for Advocare Clinics, and I want to welcome you to our facility. If you're looking at this right now, you're probably searching for a new location for care for a new or chronic injury. And I want to assure you that we have a lot of services in one location that are convenient for you, and we can combine more options for you than you'll find at most other pain management or big box medical clinics.
I like the staff. They're friendly, they're supportive, they're encouraging, they're cautious, and they rearrange my exercise schedule based on what my symptoms are.
I want to welcome you and invite you to stop by for a free consultation with me as a care coordinator to see how we could best serve you and what kind of results we think we can get for you.
Contact us at 952-835-6653 or online at advocaremn.com.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
Our goal at FCA Hockey is to help players and coaches become more confident in their game while challenging them to grow deeper in their relationship with Jesus Christ. FCA Hockey works with players of all levels, from professional to college, from adult to youth. FCA Hockey exists to make an eternal impact. With overnight and day camps, adult and junior tournaments, and specialty teams, we have opportunities for everyone. For more information on how you can get involved, check out fcahockey.com.
During this break in the action, I'd like to thank you for watching and ask for your assistance. In addition to live streaming games like this one, PSB Media also produces video commercials for clients. If someone you know is trying to grow their business, tell them to consider contacting production at psbmn.com. The internet is a powerful marketing tool, but due to its size, it can be difficult for messages to reach the right ears. Optimize their valuable time and money. PSB Video will help drive localized traffic to the client's website. Using keyword-driven content, PSB Video can improve where businesses appear in search results. Nearer to the top results means more clicks and more business. So please, tell those business owners you know to work smarter, not harder, by considering PSB Production. Find out more by emailing production@psbmn.com.
I like the blade on this one. Woo! Ripping. Come on, showtime. Nice. Good pop on the stick. Oh, that felt good.
After years of research, introducing the all-new X-Core 9. Featuring a compressible urethane insert strategically embedded in the core of the stick's blade. For unmatched accuracy, puck control, and wood-like feel. Truly game-changing.
Hey, nice shot, nice shot. Oh, he's got the wheels on. Yeah! True sniper.
Made true, play true.
And we welcome you back to the Eden Prairie Community Center. There you see the score, the Edina Hornets 3, the Eden Prairie Eagles 2. A couple of power play goals for the Hornets, a power play goal for the Eagles, and an even strength for each, and there's your difference right now. We're back underway as it's played back up into the neutral zone. Eagles and their traditional home whites with red and black trim. Hornets wearing their green, white, and gold. This game's been very, I'd say, tempestuous, very testy. These teams have had a lot of little extra shenanigans behind the whistle. It's been contested, and these things tend to pick up a little bit more into the third period. We'll see if it plays into this thing.
Well, and that's where the challenge comes in for both teams is keep the emotions in check. It's easy to let your emotions spew over and do things that are uncharacteristic for what you're used to. But Edina's just got to be very responsible with the puck. They have to support the puck. Eden Prairie, they just have to kind of keep doing what they're doing. But Eden Prairie's so good in the offensive zone that Edina, obviously, what they have to do to answer the bell is they have to protect DeGrood. DeGrood's probably going to have to come up with a couple big saves if Edina's going to have success tonight.
Pair of 12s did battle in the squared circle for the faceoff. Sullivan and Copeland. Hornets win. Through center it goes. Sent back in behind. DeRocher lets it go for Young. Left wing as he tries to chip it up. Copeland was there to make a play. Steen bothered by Shear. Johannes lets it go. Steen comes away with Sullivan across the line. They cross it on goal. Steered aside by DeGrood. Boy, he's been rock solid here tonight. A difference maker indeed. Sullivan with it. Protects the puck. Is going to guide it back down the wall. Behind the net it goes. Johnson, right wing side for Walker. Checked on the play by Johannes. Now it's Johnson again to the corner. Nice center breakout. Brinkman finds Copeland for Walker across center. Here's Sammy Walker looking to the middle. Goes down on the play. Young got the stick in there. No call. As it's going to be Lawrence once again. They're letting him play here tonight. Lawrence through center. Michelson picked up the speed on the footwork there. Nice job with the stick check. Bumped off the puck was Dornbach by Middlestead. Gets away from one man. In control with speed. Oh, right wing pass, 3-on-1 low. Middlestead grab back for Middlestead. He wasn't ready for it. Oh, a little razzle-dazzle down low. Showtime, if you will. L.A. Lakers, circa 80s. Except they didn't finish.
Oh. And I'm kind of surprised Middlestead just one pass too many. You're 3-on-1. You have to get a shot in that situation. A little bit too unselfish, but he works the play and he sees the ice so well that I think he might have caught his line mate a little by surprise. But
he did.
I think Edina dodged a huge bullet on that one. That could have been a tie score right there. Instead, it's a face-off just outside the Eden Prairie zone.
Well, that whole thing was created by Casey Middlestead in full speed.
Yeah.
And the neutral zone was able to just possess the puck with people coming at him and sidestep a would-be checker. All sorts of space, 3-on-1 across the line.
Navigating his way through a very crowded area.
He is a special player. We haven't seen many like him in the recent years. We've seen a lot of terrific hockey players, but he has a little something extra.
Well, he has all the checks in the right boxes.
And the balances.
That's for sure.
Kicked away there by Johnson. Going political with you. It's that season. Lieberman gets away from one man. His Twitter's just erupting right now. I was on that between periods, by the way. Penalty coming up. That's going to be on the Hornets. Eden Prairie back on the power play.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Crosby that's going to go for holding, but what a great opportunity it is for Eden Prairie. Edina had the numbers. They had two guys on the puck carrier. A holding call, really, once you take your hand off the stick, you have a propensity to grab on. Referee's going to call you more often than not, but face-off in the Edina zone to DeGrood's right. But what a great opportunity for that very powerful Eden Prairie power play.
We'll face off now with the power play, 1-for-1 for the Eagles. Their second man advantage of the game. Walker to draw against Sullivan. 50-50 puck. Eagles with it. Graham walks. Wrist shot, wanted to go high. Cheese. Blocker pad there. Rebound. Oh, and Middlestead buzzes that one wide of DeGrood.
Well, I think it was deflected a little bit. Unfortunate for Edina because there's a lot of net that Middlestead to look at, and he doesn't miss that very often.
Lieberman to the right wing side across the line. Sullivan goes toward the middle. Lieberman leaves off for Middlestead. He loves to control off the boards. Now it's Middlestead once again. Up high for Graham. Graham, top of the umbrella, blocker pad. They've tested that. It works. Now to the corner it goes. I'd start going a little lower. Now it's going to be Graham. Gives off to the right wing side for Middlestead. Looks down low, back up high for Graham. The big heavy shot for the senior. Lieberman instead takes a shot. That one rolls up in the air, bounding puck to the slot area. Brinkman can't clear the zone. One move too many. Middlestead to the corner. Oh, Middlestead dangles, goes phone booth. Lieberman bails out to the slot. Nicky Lieberman toe pull on Copeland. Shoots and a blocker pad save again. Play to the high stick by Brinkman and will face off inside the Edina zone. That's about a half dozen to 10 blocker pad saves by Charlie DeGrood here tonight.
Well, I think he's a riddle that Eden Prairie is having trouble solving. They've tried to go glove side, they've tried to go blocker, they've gone high, they've gone low, and found limited success on that, but they're buzzing, they're getting their shots. That's the important part. Nice toe drag by Lieberman to actually maintain possession, put some pressure on DeGrood.
Graham with it, guides down for Middlestead. Back down low it goes. Sullivan for Middlestead. Back for Sullivan again as he plays. Controls and circles out of the corner. Saved by DeGrood. That one sent out of the zone by Dornbach with 35 to go in the man advantage.
Well, good turn and fire by Dornbach. Didn't get fancy on that one, but they're trying to work it to the weak side. Edina doing a pretty good job of blocking those passing lanes.
Right wing dribbled away there from Phillips. Middlestead somehow hangs out of the puck, wants to go to the backhand. Instead, DeGrood says no. Lieberman swats at that one. That bounces up in the air, and it's going to be picked up by Phillips with 13 to go in the man advantage. It looks like the Hornets dodged a bullet.
Well, zone time has been great for Eden Prairie, but they haven't got the looks that they're wanting, and when they did, DeGrood came up big. Nice penalty kill by Edina.
Graham saying one last rush. Cross the line. The big fella carries it down low. Michael Graham with it. Carries up high. Pulls away. He's going to now find some more room. Gets away from Jungles. All he can do is take a swat at him. And he's jammed on the play. Nice play by Malmquist. But there's Graham once again. A tireless machine. Redirect. A save. A rebound. And another save by DeGrood. Beautiful work there.
Oh, my.
Rail off the boards behind the net. Duraney goes down. Penalty coming up. We'll see what this is. Brinkman was in the corner. Trumpy is there. Oh, it's on, folks.
Well, I don't know if they're going to call Brinkman for holding or Duraney for holding, but Duraney was holding on to Brinkman's 6, so it'll be interesting to see what the perception was from the man in the stripes with the orange band. Looks like it's going to be Edina. Boy, that's a little unfortunate if you're Kurt Giles. I think that kind of fired me up a little bit, but it was actually a pretty good play by Duraney to hold on to that stick and really compromise whatever Brinkman was trying to do and get a power play out of it. So well played by Eden Prairie. They should be a little fortunate, but what a great opportunity. Just over 12 minutes remaining in regulation time. Eden Prairie down by 1 at home, but now on the power play. Face-offs very important on the PK for Edina, especially in their own zone.
Copeland leans in. Sullivan as well. Back to the line it goes.
Boy, Eden Prairie's had some good success in the face-off circle tonight.
If you want to take momentum of a hockey game, you get a couple of power plays, but you got to do something with them too.
Right.
The Hornets now for Lieberman. To the line, Sullivan. Graham. Offside. No, they say. Ooh, my word. That one off the glass right there. Boy, that looked offside from here, and we're right on the line. Now Middlestead with it. Back up for Graham. Wrist shot, traffic. That was an absolute heavy bomb that's wide of the net. That thing was so hard, it didn't even make a noise off the wall. Kurt Giles sent packing on that clearing attempt.
Well, indeed, but it at least relieved some pressure. But, boy, when you get Graham back on the point, Sullivan taking shots, Middlestead, Lieberman, boy, pick your poison on that one. But DeGrood, once again, looks very confident and unflappable right now, and they need that as a calming influence. But Edina kind of chasing the puck a little bit, being a man down.
How'd you like to be a forward in front? You're going to be screening the tendy. Here comes about a rib-high bullet from the middle of the top of the umbrella coming from Graham. Yeah, sure, I'll deflect that.
You can hear the thud off the boards. I wouldn't want to get in front of that, but you got to make the play.
Midsection. Now it's Sullivan with it. He protects the puck. Broken stick. Look out, Michelson. Checked it, and to the ice it goes. They'll have to work around that twig that's broken in two. Lieberman grabs the puck. Wrist shot. Scores! All sorts of traffic. A power play worked to perfection. The Eagles even it up at 3.
Well, I just think that physically Eden Prairie was overmatching the Edina defenders in front. Edina couldn't move anybody out. I don't think DeGrood even had a whiff at that puck. We'll look at it on replay. But, it was a bend but don't break kind of a penalty kill, but that time it broke. But Eden Prairie earned it. A good shot on goal. Just seemed to have eyes on that one. But I'm sure that DeGrood didn't see it. We'll see him working around right here. Gets into the scoring area, and you can see all the traffic in front. Edina not allowing the goaltender to see that shot, but it's a whole new hockey game. 11 minutes and 4 seconds left. We're not at a 3.
Well, we'll see how the Hornets respond after they've been scored on there, Bart. I mean, it's, as I mentioned, when you have offensive zone time on the power play like the Eagles do, it creates so much more confidence. and you continue to move your feet. But the Hornets, the mark of a good team is when you've been scored on, you come back with authority. We'll see how they respond. Rail back in behind the net, bothered by Walker. Rail tries to fish away. Gets a little help from Durrani to Johannes. Off the skates of Steen. Instead, it's going to be Shear right back at you. So he sends it into the Eden Prairie zone. Under 10.5 to go here in the third period. Look out. Steen gets away from the oncoming Ben Brinkman. Off the boards. It's going to be handled now by Durrani. He has energy across the line. That's off the stick of Luke Johnson. Poke to center. Here comes Brinkman in offensive posture. Waits for Copeland. Shot and a glove save. I was about to say that was in the back of the net. I got a little ahead of myself, Bart Archer. That thing was wide open,
Wow.
and DeRocher just flared it and made a beautiful glove hand save.
Wow, it was a good job by the Edina defender to walk it into the zone, draw the defender over, got it over to Copeland. He had a pretty good look from the right hash mark. That one was ticketed in, but
Look
what
at
a
that
big
thing.
save by DeRocher.
One more time. Look at this, Bart.
He walks it in, draws the defender open, opens up some space, but boy, he just snatched that out of the air. That's a good save by DeRocher right there. Has to give his team a little bit of energy right there.
I would term that cat-like and a great scoring chance from Brinkman to Copeland.
But it was a pretty good answer by Edina. They got a pretty good look.
Gray Irwin ahead to Sullivan. Stopped there by Tabor. Blakowiak plays ahead. Poked out of there by Michelson. Tabor back to his partner. Now Michelson outlets Mac Hankinson off the boot. And it's going to be Sullivan. Turns it over. Hankinson comes away. Moon with it across the line for Joe Hankinson with room. In on goal. Shoots! Nice pad save. Taking away the 5-hole was DeRocher. And a penalty coming up for interference on the Eden Prairie Eagles.
Well, and that's going to be Gray Irwin, the senior defender, stepped up after there wasn't really any continuation on that. The play had already moved forward, but Gray Irwin stepped up, interference just inside the zone, but now Edina gets a chance to answer. They had a pretty good answer after that goal. Eden Prairie had some energy, but Edina pushed back a little bit. Now, through their pressure and their hard work, they get the opportunity on the power play once again, and they've been very successful tonight. Official scoring, Lieberman is 7th from Middlesex for Eden Prairie.
Brinkman with it. Power play now for the Hornets. It's been their go-to here for their offensive productivity. 2 of their 3 goals with a man advantage, 2 for 3 with it. Walker, Phillips now. Back over for Walker from the left side. He looks to play this to the right side. That's off Brinkman. And off the boards it goes through center. Phillips watches that one back behind the net.
Boy, Shearer and Young were exchanging some pleasantries in front of the net. There was a war going on in front of the Eden Prairie goal.
Brinkman with it. Advances ahead for Shearer. Looks to the outside as he carries back in behind the net. Shearer with it. Now Copeland. Pleasantries have been definitely exchanged. Wrist shot blocked wide. That was off, I believe, the stick of Walker. And now it's Copeland to gather in. Up high for Phillips. Near side Brinkman. Back for Phillips. Sends a pass over for Copeland. Wanted to pull the trigger. Had to gather in. Instead, stick handles. Chucks some sauce. Shot in on goal. DeRocher save another one. Puck rolls away. Rail to center ice. 50 to go in the man advantage. Phillips will wait. Gathers in the line. Finds Walker. Down low he goes. Walker now turns. Looks back up ice. Finds Phillips. Nice pass there. Copeland from the left circle. That shot deflects. Off the wall it goes. 33 to go. Now it's Phillips. Snapshot traffic. That hits DeRocher. Bounding puck. Swatted at. Now Graham, look out. He can skate. He has Middlestead. He's going to wait for him. 2-on-2. He looks to create. Oh, he gets away from one man. Middlestead down low. Off the skate. Off the end wall it goes. Boy, that was a wild developing 2-on-2 that turned into a possible 2-on-1. Now here comes Walker across the line with 8 on the man advantage. Shear comes over to help out as Walker was stopped defensively. Fans behind the glass, arms up in the air, looking for penalties left and right. I love that. Across the line, it's Durrani. Like I say, folks, they're not looking at you. Back behind the net it goes. If they are, they're going to get fired. Back up through center ice with Tucker. He gets away from Young, plays it deep. Trumpy ahead for Blakowiak. They run into traffic, and it's going to be Blakowiak back up through center ice. Back to the corner it goes. Now it's going to be Rail with it. Surveys, sends a bounding puck through center. Michelson had a tough one to handle as he had Blakowiak there. Off the glass, nifty play there as Trumpy pulls it down. Oh, he got hit high and he went down. He got caught in the head with a pair of mitts with some head contact there for sure. But I don't think they're going to call anything there as he's going to You can see right there his helmet already got unbuckled from the contact.
Yeah, the cage is kind of dangling. You don't like those high hands, but whenever you get the hands up high, it's always a point of concern. But 3-3 just under 7 minutes ago. What do you see from this point, Pete?
I think, it's going to be a turnover. That's the difference here. I think the one thing is, as you mentioned it earlier, the second period, the Eagles took over control. Now, when the Eagles tied this game up, the Hornets have responded with their power play, and now they found a little more juice.
Yeah, in fact, they are challenging a little bit more, but you have to be very smart on the blue lines. Intelligence wins hockey games like this. We'll see who's going to be more intelligent tonight and get the breaks.
Young watched by Walker. I think conditioning, the Hornets have, both these teams are really rolling just six forwards at you pretty regularly here in the third period, so who's got what's left in the tank for a conference game here in the middle of the season?
Well, it seemed to have an effect on them last time Edina played Wayzata. They were up 1-0 going into the third, gave up 3 straight goals, and I think fatigue kind of worked into that. So we'll see in this final 6 minutes if fatigue's going to come into play.
Go to the cross-country team to get some of those guys. Back to the near side it goes. Shearer with it. Plays it to the neutral zone. Walker. Johannes now. Look out. Stepping up with Shearer. And here comes Walker to take over. He can fly to the outside. Poke check nifty there by Nicky Lieberman. Boy, has he had a good game, has Nicky Lieberman.
He's had a good season. He's got 7 goals from the back line, and those are goals that he's earned. It's not a consequence of playing with talented players. He's really gone out and really kind of forged his little niche in the Eden Prairie attack.
Turned over. Phillips. Now it's Lieberman to Middlestat. Back door they go. Middlestat wanted to find a man rink wide, and Lieberman. Kimball was up high. Middlestat from the corner, watched by Brinkman. Now he tries to go back into the kitchen, does Middlestat, but there are too many Hornets there to make the play. Johnson will play it along to the near wall for Crosby. He had to take that one standing still, and instead to center it goes. Picked up now by Kimball with 5:20 to go. Wow, it's getting to crunch time here, folks. Dornbach with it, gets away from one man, then stood up by Kimball. Middlestat takes over, gives back over for Rail. Rail on the move. Finds Graham on an angle through neutral. Graham puts on the break, the right-handed shot, looks to tuck it into the corner. He runs into a couple of Hornet players as he is stopped in his tracks. Lawrence is there, Middlestat as well, and that back at center it goes. Nice play by Phillips, but instead stopped there by Young. Graham checked on the play by Brinkman. Middlestat can dangle, turns on Johnson, buzzes that wide of the net. Hornets with numbers back out of the zone as the Eagles change on the fly. Near side for Dornbach, watched by Young. Back for Johnson. Left wing side it goes. Brinkman, nice pass for Dornbach as he tries to spade through traffic.
Oh, wow.
Everybody down on the play there. We play on. Oh, they got a penalty coming up on the Eagles.
Absolutely. I think it's Blakoyak for hooking.
Now it's going to be Walker. Extra attacker is on right now. 6-on-5. Copeland down low. Walker scores! Oh, what a pair of mitts there. Shovel shelf backhand. An extra attacker goal for the Edina Hornets. And it's 4-3 late here in the third period.
Well, it came down to Dornbach actually drawing in a couple of Eden Prairie defenders. Delayed penalty starts. You could see Eden Prairie sag a little bit. And Edina got a little bit more focus and a little bit more energy. But nice job by Copeland to give it in stride to Walker. Walker off the backhand just put a little softy up under the bar. What a great goal that was. I don't think DeRocher had much of a chance. That's just a goal scorer's goal. But Edina now in the waning moments of this third period clinging to a 1-goal lead. But expect a huge pushback from these Eagles.
Well, they've been chasing this game, have the Eagles. They had the first goal, and then Edina takes the 2-1 lead. Eden Prairie ties. Edina takes the lead. Eden Prairie ties again. Here we are now, Edina with another lead, 4-3.
And Walker's second goal of the night, 17th of the season. One of the primary offensive forces in Edina answered the bell tonight.
Boy, has he had himself a nice hockey game.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, there's a lot of tough choices to make for the player of the game tonight, but we're looking forward to it.
We got a short list for the Hornets. You got to go Walker and Charlie DeGrood. Right out of the box. I think Phillips has been very good for that team.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of get past the DeGrood part of it. He's made some saves and really kept him in this game so
tested.
far. We still have 4 minutes to go, so the hero could
Middlestat's
still be out there.
Middlestat's been a standout here.
Oh,
Graham's been solid. Lieberman's been good.
You almost take it for granted. You almost take these guys for granted because they're so good.
Continuing to go to the high blocker on DeGrood, who says take it outside, but the officials say no.
And I'm not trying to oversell this, people. We've been watching Edina hockey for an awful long period of time, and I think DeGrood ranks up there in one of the finer goaltenders that we've seen come through this Edina program in the last 10 years.
Absolutely. And every night he comes to work, he's seeing quite a few shots here.
Yeah, Edina's defense isn't as physical imposing as they have been in previous years, so he's had his work cut out for him, but he's answered the bell quite a bit.
They've been impressive tonight. Johannes wanted it in the slot area. Kimball's there. Lieberman better hurry because Crosby's all over him. DeRocher will just cover. Big collision to the corner.
Well, I think that was more incidental. There was nothing malicious that Nicky Lieberman was doing on that one. But when you see somebody like Walker or Crosby or Dornbach or any of these speedy Edina forwards, that gets your attention. But Edina doing a nice job with their sticks tonight. They're really pushing the puck into areas, and they have the speed to track those pucks down. I think it's taken Eden Prairie a little by surprise. Not that they're surprised at Edina's speed, but they've been very effective tonight, and that's just through a lot of hard work. But like you said, it's a lunch pail group that we have here at Edina, but boy, they can fly when they have to.
Very young hockey club for sure.
Yeah, only 6 players actually had varsity experience last year or so.
That's young.
And Eden Prairie has some state tournament experience, but boy, what a great game we've seen tonight.
Icing will be the call back into the Eden Prairie zone under 4 minutes now at 3:46 to go.
And boy, if you can get Eden Prairie to ice the puck when they're trying to strive to get a goal, you're doing something right because Edina is on them quick. But one thing I like about Edina is they're not over pursuing the puck. They're being a little bit cautious and a little bit more focused as far as how they're going about their business. So they're going to be pretty tough to score against. Eden Prairie's going to have to earn it.
Walker gets away from one man. Behind the net he goes. Watches that puck slither away as it's Lawrence now left wing side. Dragged everybody with. Found Graham to the forehand. Block. Nice job. Busy sticks Hornets. Lawrence plays up to Young. He'll have to crash down on a rolling puck. Lawrence kicks it right back to Young. Puck still rolling. Wow, that thing it's got wheels on it. Now it's going to be played to the left wing side as it's going to be Shear with it. He has Copeland in front. That misfires behind Copeland.
Well, I think it rolled on him a little bit. He wanted to get it to him earlier, which would have been a great play.
Crosby slides over. The Eagles wanted the fly pass on the bounding puck, but Crosby instead slides up in the neutral zone and cuts that off. Nice play.
Well, I think what the Edina defensemen are going to have to be cognizant of are those stretch passes. They like to get the pass and stretch things open, get some open ice. So the Edina forwards like Dornbach at center primarily is going to have to come back and cover, but Edina should be a little conservative. But pointed on their forechecks.
Sullivan carries outside. Shot saved by DeGrood. It's going to be Steen looking for Lieberman up high. Back behind the net it goes. Sullivan turns away from one man. Neither one of these teams have to see each other in section play, which is, once again, they've been apart from each other, really since the early part of the turn of the millennium.
Well, I think it's nice that there's both a chance Edina and Eden Prairie can make that state tournament.
Dornbach's shot is steered away by DeRocher. Johannes is bothering the play there. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third period.
Well, it's going to be a long 2.5 minutes for the Hornets.
Time is of
Go
essence
quickly for the Eagles, though.
But there's Walker to shut away the neutral zone. Gets away from one man. Down low, he's 1-on-4. Sammy Walker with it. Cycles back into the corner. That gets away from Middlestad. Poked up to the right point. Johnson guides that one off the glass. Behind the net it goes. Shear's going to wait for it. He plays back in behind for Copeland. Back for Shear. Nope. Picked off by Middlestad, who couldn't get a handle on that one. That one's blockered wide of the net. Now it's Copeland with it. Looks down to the slot area. That rolls up. Lawrence is there. Walker all over the ice. Sends that one right back in. What a shift by number 10.
Oh, Copeland. Boy, he's lucky if he doesn't get a penalty on that one. That was just really something he didn't need to do, but I think Edina dodged a huge bullet on that one. But Edina's winning the battles to the loose pucks. Wow, that was just, wow. At this stage of the game, you have players with experience. They got to be smarter than that. But Eden Prairie, here's their final push. It's under 2 minutes to go. It seemed like Eden Prairie was kind of waiting for something to happen. You got to go out there and pressure Edina, but Edina did a good job of possessing.
The footwork was so good for that Hornet forecheck led by Sammy Walker. It was incredible.
He was all over the place.
Rail plays this one down the wall. It's DeRocher stays in his net. We'll keep our eye on him. Patrick Waugh is not behind the bench. Now it's going to be Rail. Plays over for Young. Picked off by Crosby. Great work there. Graham's going to try to find some real estate as he turns this one up ice. Right wing it goes for Lawrence. Lawrence, puck rolls on him. Off the boards to neutral. Rail again with it. Looks to his left. Instead, bothered by Phillips. Gets away from him. Turns up ice. Nice pass to Middlestad across the line. Middlestad goes up high. Just missed the crossbar. And the big carom back into the Eden Prairie zone. DeRocher's going to play ahead to the left wing side. We'll keep our eye on him. Middlestad gains the line. Tries to play it down to Lawrence. He goes off the ice. On comes Nolan Sullivan. Tabor goes glassing out to the neutral zone. Lieberman better hurry because they're forechecking hard in the neutral zone. Nice touch pass for Lawrence. Ooh, lost the handle. Middlestat back on the sure hands there. Middlestat sends a pass. Graham shot, blocker pad save, rebound. Puck to the corner it goes. Now here's Graham again. Oh, he gets away from Brinkman. Nice play there. Graham plays back in behind. Now it's off the side of the net. Saved by DeGrood. Lieberman from the right point, 6-on-5. Shot that does not get through. That one's cleared the length of the ice. It'll dribble back into the Eden Prairie zone for an icing call. We'll see if they call a timeout.
Well,
I'm
it
sure
would be
they will.
bad time for a timeout, but I think Edina just had to relieve a little pressure. Pretty good pressure by the Eden Prairie Eagles in the Edina zone, but better to get a whistle and fight another battle than try to defend against this Eagle team with tired legs. But it looks like it is a timeout. Good call, Pete Wagner. And really what they want to do is just diagram what to do if you win the faceoff, what to do if you don't win the faceoff. Sometimes what you do if you don't win the faceoffs is far more important. Lee Smith's just kind of giving their kids a little bit of a refocus and one more big push by these.
There are a couple of big saves in that last flurry of plays by Eden Prairie by Charlie DeGrood. Turned away a couple of great saves with the blocker pad. Again, they keep going up high on him, and I think he's showing that he's tough to beat there.
Well, and not only that, but it's where does the rebound end up? A lot of the rebounds are put into the corner, so really it gives their players a chance to reset and reposition. And I think DeGrood's really been the backbone of this team tonight and why they're having success, because when they seem to be able to get the opportunity to lack energy, he gives them energy, and then they come back and put pressure on the Eden Prairie Eagles. But I think Edina's played almost a flawless game tonight. They've had a couple bumps in the road, but I think they've been very impressive.
With 20 seconds to go here in the third period, this is all about possession. Yeah. And you got to think about how you want to defend that back door. And also keep an eye out for the big two. I mean, of course, Middlestat and Graham.
Well,
where are they going to be lining up here, and who's doing what?
And that cross-ice sauce pass, tape to tape, that's impressive stuff. Edina's going to have to watch the weak side as well.
They got Middlestat on the right side, and Graham is split out to the left dot.
Yep.
So Sullivan's going to try and push it straight over to Middlestat on his right, as Dornbach can hear jostling. The sticks are...
Drop the puck.
Well, they both were turning. And now it's Crosby, Sullivan. This is a big turn of events here. 50-50 puck, poke to the corner. Hornets get it. They try to clear. Oh, batted down by a rail. It's picked up off the skates. Sullivan, it muddles toward the slot area. Middlestat, he stick handled once too many. 9 seconds to go in front. That's off Lieberman. Hornets are going to escape that. That could have been tough there. That'll do it. As the Edina Hornets pick up the 4-3 win on the road. They've been kicked out of the locker room, the big Hornets' nest. Maybe the doors will be unlocked after the lunch pail workman's-like effort there. Holy smokes, what a hockey game here.
Yeah, indeed, and I think that it's just the perseverance and the resiliency of this Edina Hornet squad. They were challenged, and they rose to the occasion. I think this is going to be a springboard for Edina. They played pretty well of late. They've been, I think, 6-3-1 in the last 10 games, but coming into a hostile environment in the Eden Prairie Community Center and coming out with a win, boy, that's pretty impressive stuff.
Who is your CrankyApe.com player of the game?
Charlie DeGrood with a bullet. I mean, you look at what Walker did, obviously 2 goals, 2 big goals, too. I'm not trying to undersell that, but Charlie DeGrood, with some of the saves that he made against these talented Eden Prairie players, I think was really the difference in this game.
Bart, if you take them each out of the lineup, the Hornets probably don't win this hockey game. So it's a 1A, 1B scenario, in my opinion.
Right. But DeRocher actually played pretty well tonight. But I think Eden Prairie is just one of those teams that every once in a while, taking a loss isn't the worst thing in the world because it just kind of get them refocused. I hate to be the team that Eden Prairie plays next. And I think that Eden Prairie is actually going in or hosting Wayzata here, so it doesn't get any easier for them. Edina travels to Braemar Arena to take on the Holy Angel Stars. So Edina has to feel pretty good coming out of this arena with a win, but Eden Prairie is just such an impressive squad, and their body of work is just puts everybody back on their heels. A lot of respect to the Eagles of Eden Prairie, but boy, tap on the shins to Kurt Jaws and the Edina Hornets tonight.
They improved to 12-7-2 on the season. The Eagles fall to 15-4-1. Big win by the Hornets. Lunch pail effort. Eden Prairie Eagles played themselves a very fine hockey game. This was a great high school hockey game. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us here tonight. Thank you to Kevin Hagstrom producing his tail off as usual.
Well done.
And Bart Archer, thank you for joining us here
Happy
tonight
to
from
here.
the booth. That's going to do once again your final score. Edina 4 and Eden Prairie 3. From the Eden Prairie Community Center, I'm Pete Wagner. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to live, local, play-by-play coverage of tonight's game. Catch all the action all season long on your home for Southwest Metro Sports, PSB Media. Tonight's game was brought to you by The Malt Store, Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office, Athlete PT, Noodles and Company of Eden Prairie, The Sun Current, The Tavern on 4 and 5, and in partnership with Minnesota Football Magazine and BEC TV. You can find an archived broadcast of tonight's game available 24/7 on PSBMN.com.